Dit is Radio 6.
Soul and jazz.
Maybe it's a good idea if I give you some noise. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you clear.
Hey,
yeah.
how are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. I wanted to play this song because I was listening to it yesterday while I drove home to my 6-year-old, 7-year-old girl.
Perfect.
And I was thinking, you're a 7, maybe 8-year-old girl at home?
Yeah, she's 7, yeah.
And I was thinking maybe you wrote this song for her.
Well, it's kind of written for both of them, really, for my wife and my daughter.
Yeah.
There's the theme of the album is generally kind of family.
And big love.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's inspiration for my daughter, my wife, my late father, and probably even a little bit of my dog in there, probably somewhere.
Even the dog?
Probably the dog.
Which one's for the dog?
I'm not quite sure, I just made that up.
I think it's
I thought
tight
it'd be
tones.
amusing. There you go, tight tones.
It's for the dog, yeah. Do you know Wouter Hamel?
Of course he doesn't.
He's sitting there.
I'm a local artist and I do this radio show once a month. And it's great to have you here.
Yeah.
My question is, this album marks your 30th anniversary, right?
Yeah.
Does it feel like 30 years? Does it feel like a century? Did it just go by like nothing ever happened?
Well, the joy of it is that without thinking about the 30 years, this album would never have happened. This album only happened because I was thinking, my God, 30 years. What does...
Yeah.
Why do people like Simply Red? What is it about them? What would Simply Red sound like in 2015? And that's what got me thinking that I should write some songs, and I ended up writing a whole album.
Yeah, and that's my second question, actually. When do you find time to write a song? Do people need to stuff you in a studio and lock it up in isolation?
No, that's I lead a very relaxed life at the moment. I've got in between making breakfast for my daughter, walking the dog, and sort of watching TV or being in the garden, I decided to write a few songs.
So the compositions are very domestic.
Yeah, very domestic. The whole theme, as I said, is family. So domestic is very much a feature of my life right now.
Okay.
Hij zegt dat hij een rustig leven... Ik vertaal even voor die 3 mensen die geen Engels spreken. Ja, hij zegt dat hij een rustig leven heeft en na 30 jaar dacht van... Goh, hoe zou Simply Red eigenlijk klinken als je het op dit moment weer zou horen? Nou ja, hij is natuurlijk de persoon om dat ook te brengen. I'm sorry, I'll get to talking English.
I'm just sad I can't speak Dutch.
You're fine,
Mick Hucknall is looking like me from what's this sound coming out of my earphones.
Yeah.
I was wondering, Mr. Hucknall, if this song is about you, this one.
No.
Shocking beard.
So.
The
You're
old man and the beard.
old.
Yeah, it's the only story on the album, really. It's about an old guy in a bar. He gets up every morning and then in the afternoon he goes down to his bar and he probably drinks 2 small beers for the whole afternoon.
That's it.
He's a widower. He's lost his wife. And he lives in an apartment block. And each morning he looks out of the window down onto the cemetery where his wife's buried. And he's alone. And it's just him, and he cries into his beers, the old man and the beer, and he's alone. It's quite a sad story.
Yeah, hence the minor
but
key.
don't cry. Yeah. I don't want anybody to cry at home.
Well,
Please don't cry.
We can cry in our beer a little bit.
Yeah.
But I loved it because it's so jazzy.
Yeah.
That's right,
It's so jazzy. I just thought a
Very
little
gentle and elegant. I love it, yeah.
We've always had a little bit of jazz on the albums, right from the beginning with Saddle Red off Picture Book and Enough from A New Flame. We've always had elements of jazz in there.
It's very disrespectful, but
To talk over your own
song,
music.
Yeah.
I was, so you can.
No, I started it, I know, but I wanted you to listen to this, if you please allow me.
Actually, this is my music. This wasn't planned. You're
sorry
embarrassing
about
right
that.
now, but this was produced by Peter John Vitesse. Might be a pal of yours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Peter's a genius.
That's a C. Yeah.
This is one of my favorites.
It's his horn arrangement as well.
Fantastic.
But stop with my music.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Just yeah, we're talking about Simply Red.
Super
I'm sorry.
awkward.
It's so
Okay.
nice.
That's nice, but
beautiful.
I'm glad you worked with Peter because he's really a feature of this album.
Yeah.
And the work that he did on the strings is phenomenal. And even people, listeners out there, if they hear the album, they'll hear some of the voices that sound like girls.
Yeah, that's
him. Actually Peter.
I know, he's got the most amazing backing vocal voice in the world.
Zijn Mick Hucknall en Wouter Hamel zijn nu aan het praten
we've got a
over
mutual
iemand
friend,
die ze
yeah.
samen
I feel
kennen.
very privileged to work with him, I really do. So you're very lucky to have gotten Peter.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Ze hebben met dezelfde persoon gewerkt en praten daar nu even over met elkaar. Dus die gaan straks in een box apart, denk ik. Ja.
Yeah, I've got a question for about the beginning. Was there a pinnacle moment in your career that you were on stage and you felt like you could really command an audience? Because you don't become a stage performer, you are it already, but you just have to find the time when it happens. Was there a moment for you when you were young? Or?
There was a moment where I realized I had to kind of properly get it together, which was very early on, must have been about like 1982 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I tried singing this song called Misty, and I couldn't do it. And I had to look. I tried singing it on stage, and it was quite embarrassing because I was really bad. And I had to go away and kind of learn, and that was when I first started trying to learn jazz intonation and stuff like that. Because before then, I'd been in like a punk band. Between sort of 1976 and 1981.
So a bad experience kind of set the bar for you to make do it better.
If you have an embarrassing moment, you go, I got to go away and get myself together. And learn how to do this.
Prepare.
Okay, and that's what I did.
Dit is echt heel schattig, want er komt een soort masterclass optreden komt er nu voorbij voor Wouter en van Mick. You're giving him kind of a masterclass. It's really nice to be an audience here. I wanted to ask you about Shine On, because we're already changed our greetings here from Keep Yourself Safe to Shine On. So what was the background of that song?
Well, it's really inspired by my daughter and her shiny eyes. And I just look at it, because when I say I feel 10 feet tall, it's like I'm so proud of her. And when you look at a kid, you're looking at the future, and you want her to shine on and just keep looking forward. And I feel very positive about that song. It's a very positive kind of upbeat song.
When are you going home?
I'm going home tomorrow morning.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah. But first, you're gonna play for us.
Yes,
I'm going to sing a couple of songs for you.
So Kenji and Dave are already sitting.
Should I go in there now?
Yeah, Wouter will introduce them. So you can walk.
On guitar, we've got Kenji Suzuki, and on keyboards, Dave Clayton. And I'm going to go over there now and sing a song. What's the first song you'd like to sing?
It would be nice to do Shine On. Do you know the lyrics?
Just about.
Okay.
Maybe you can print them out.
I can.
Enjoy.
Mick Hucknall,